Welcome back to the hottest marriage show in the galaxy. It is I, John D. and Kanika, a.k.a.
Do.
And Too Much Podcast. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. You?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Great.
So you're well, and then you're great. When I said fantastic, sounded, yeah. What was that all about? I say fantastic, and he was like, great.
Well, it's great that you're fantastic.
Well, if this was filmed, they would have saw your face when you saw great.
Ah.
And your great was just like, yeah. So now I don't even think your well is as well as it said it means.
Would you stop?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if I say fantastic, why didn't you say, why are you doing so fantastic? Like, I don't understand.
Why are you
It's too late. It's too late. My point is, there is something, because fantastic isn't a regular word that you use.
It's not. You're right.
And I said, I'm fantastic. And you said, great. Like, you don't see how that could look. Or
No, I'm going to have to hear it in a playback.
No, I need you to, like, think about it right now.
Tell me why you're fantastic.
It's all right. It doesn't matter why I'm fantastic. But anyways, I was wondering your thoughts on dating in your 40s versus your 20s. With the information that you have now, how do you think you would date in your 40s if you were single? Maybe the reason why I'm asking this is because there is a shortage of relationships in our peer group that are married. Majority of my friends, like outside of my core group, are single or divorced, working on. So I was wondering, what do you think you could give people that are interested in relationship in their 40s that you know could have been valuable in your 20s that they may not see because you've been married for 15 years and you've had time to reflect? What do you think you could give them?
I have a very limited experience in all of that. So this is my problem with that. I didn't really date in my 20s. Like, I was somebody that either I focused on one person and you know, did my thing and had that one person sitting over to the side, or I was alone, and I was very seldom alone. So dating, I didn't have a lot of dating experience when I was younger, and then getting in a relationship so early. Now, if I were to go out into my 40s, even when I've talked to my friends, I've had some that are like, you have no idea what it's like. And so kind of like what I say doesn't matter, or it's somebody who's just saying, you know, when people be like, if it were me, I would do this, but you don't really know because you ain't there. You didn't have to experience that. So I don't really know. I don't know what I would, I guess for somebody who's been married and then they got divorced and they go out, even the funny part about me going out and me dating in my 40s, I have even less of a concern of having a relationship with somebody because I have kids. You know, I would have done the married thing, and I probably would have. Like even the draw of dating, I don't even have the draw of dating. So to me, I can't give that advice. What about you?
Oh, I got so much.
So I'm over here like, no.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't. That's weird to me, because to me, I feel like regardless if it's good or not, you should have something. Like somebody could be like, that's not right. But to me, when you do that, it's like the scapegoat of not giving an answer that could probably help somebody. In my mind, like if I had the information that I have now, if people really want serious relationships, they have to ask serious questions. Like, what do you really want?
Oh yeah, we've talked about that before though. Like,
but not today. We didn't.
Okay.
I don't understand. Like,
I thought you were asking me to build onto something that we haven't already laid out.
No, like what? I can almost guarantee that if we go back and listen to what we said, these answers are going to be different. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know that I've changed in what could I do to help single people understand they're probably the problem. And when I say that, it's like I look on my Facebook timeline. Now I'm debating on who I should allow on my timeline, because some things that I see, it's like I need to just reach out to them. I shouldn't put a comment under their thing. But I'm thinking about what could potentially get somebody into a productive relationship, just not anything. But majority of the people our age still think sex is a significant part of a relationship. And in my analysis of married people, sex is probably between 10 and 20% of their relationship at the most. Like, nobody talks about sex like you do when you're younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and to me, I feel like it's because it's not happening as often. And there's so many other things that people are interested in. But if you're single, you still think sex is a big part of the relationship. And sex really wasn't a big part of women's idea. It was more so, in my mind, my opinion, this is what a man wants. You know, so if this is what I'm supposed to do, I'll participate. But overall, men think that that's what they're supposed to have. So women are in this place where, like, that is this key piece. Like, do I have, like, am I really, like, is this the expectation? But thinking about men who are single is because the people that's older than them in their circles are not telling them that sex isn't that important as you get older. Like, most men my age and older need like some type of medication to participate when they want to. You know, like, if you at our age, you mess around, somebody sneak up on you and you ain't even prepared. And you like, look, I'm here with you. Mentally, I'm here with you.
For real.
But the rest of my body is not operating the way that it used to.
Yeah.
So when you don't do that, in my mind, like, it was an insecurity at one point, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? I mean, just throughout my life. And as I've gotten older, I've like, it doesn't bother me as much, although there are times I want to do it, but now I'm hoping that you feel the same way. You know, we got to be on the same, like, because, like, you could be excited and then you like, okay, let's do this. And then the other one just wants to please you, but that don't mean that they're there.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, I'm not saying that's something that we can't work on, but overall, if you're single, you can't think that sex is that important because this is coming. Like, you can be excited in the beginning because it's new, but when it's no longer new, if you don't have that sex part, is the relationship worth keeping?
Right.
And I feel like we don't have real conversations with each other. Like, you know, like, what do you want to do in life? Who are your parents? What is the relationship with your parents like now?
But I mean, in our 40s, that I understand that when you're getting into something, you're young and you got to think, do I want to raise children with, you know, in this family with this? But once you're in your 40s and you're entering into a relationship, don't you kind of step away from the idea of, like, I mean, I want to know that you have a positive relationship with your family, but like, what's your relationship with your parents and things like that? I think of that in regards to you as a person and your adjustment, but also in, do I want to have a connection with these people as far as with children, because then you're connected for life. If I'm just dating you and dating for a relationship in my 40s, I'm not anticipating having kids. And so the connection for life thing, it feels different to me. That doesn't feel like something that I need to be as concerned about.
But that's you having kids.
Yeah.
Like, so you can't, I'm like, these people aren't thinking like the way you're thinking. Right. They're thinking, or in my mind, they still want the pieces that married people get when they walk through
Yeah.
the steps, because they want to have these conversations with people, like to have some likeness.
Yeah. I understand that part.
Yeah, so that's, to me, I feel like if you're not considering these things, then it could be trouble. I'm just thinking about how we were talking earlier today, how we have, well, I have a family member that's seasoned. When I say seasoned, I'm saying no longer young, that still thinks about, things that they don't need. Like at this age, they're thinking about things that was significant in their 20s. But as you get older, if you don't mature, you're still stuck in that place, and your body is just in a different place. But you don't realize that, like the things that are important. So how can we be more effective in helping a person receive information so that they can grow? Because I feel like this: if somebody calls you, or you have a relationship with anybody, and they ask your advice or your perspective, every person that decides to open their mouth wants to give them something that can work.
Yeah.
Every person.
Yeah.
There's not a person that says, I'm opening my mouth because I want to give them bad information. Not one person, unless it's like
you're trying to either provide guidance or comfort.
Something.
Yes.
So why is it that you and I just said that we can give information to people and they'll still do what you didn't tell them to do? And to me, in my mind, we were not effective enough for them to be able to, like, yeah, that's absolutely. Why didn't I think of that myself? And they do something different, and you're like, they're going to keep getting these results because we're not giving them the information that says that, dang, I cannot believe I've been doing this. So what do you think now, being married, going through your experience with me, listening to how I viewed life, and I tried to give you everything. Like if you asked a question, regardless if it could bring up, like emotions that could be very strong. I try to still tell you, look, this is how I was thinking, so that you can have an idea of like my truth. Because I feel like if I can't ever give you my truth, regardless of how it sounds, you won't ever know my heart. Like there's always going to be some skepticism, like, but you did this. And I'm like, I'm not doing a good job for you to be like, this dude really is a good guy. Like he was just ignorant and he was making decisions because he thought he was thinking selfishly. So when we're talking to these people and we give them this information, we're thinking to provide, like you said, guidance or some comfort. What are we doing wrong that they're not receiving it so that they can grow? Because at the end of the day, they do want to do better, right? That's the reason why they're talking.
But, I think one of the things is when you come in and you try to provide reality checks according to your own experiences, and they're still moving toward a goal of having it all. Like if we're saying, it's not, this stuff isn't important. We're past this part. As an example, I was talking to someone today and I said, we're 43. We don't care about having kids anymore. Like we, at this point, some people may want to have children. When I think about it and I think about that particular person, I was saying in our condition, in our health as we're aging and the things that are going on, the things we have moving around with teenage kids and all that other stuff, having kids with a new partner at this age just ain't it. But what if that person has this feeling like, I want to find my person. I know that I didn't find them before with these other children's fathers, but I want to find my person that I'll marry and we will have a kid together. I don't think that anything I say, even if it sounds sensibly, even if it makes sense to them, if they have that desire, they could want guidance, but they probably would prefer the guidance to include what they want, that part of the path. Like if I'm taking it out and say, you can have all that stuff, but take this part out. Don't worry about this part. But they want that part. So my advice is not allowing them to have everything they want. And sometimes people aren't ready to give up that dream.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like that means that the information in my mind that you gave didn't make sense because that dream is still possible to them.
No, because I know that and I'm going to be completely honest, there have been people who've said things to me and it made complete sense. And I'm like, yes, I know all of this is dumb. I know that I should be doing this, but that's not what I want. Like, I understand exactly what you're saying. It makes all the sense in the world, and it will probably better me for it if I would follow this instruction. But
even
it's not what I want.
Even with what you're saying, people told you certain things, but couldn't somebody give you information on, like, if you really want to continue to live that life, ask yourself this and then ask this person that, or can this situation provide, like, they can still help you get to an answer sooner. Like, to me,
but if it's what you want, it doesn't matter what so I ask you this question that I need to know, and we have this discussion, and the result isn't ideal. It's not what I wanted. But if I really, really want you, I might just bypass that. I might just say, okay, well, we'll try something else later, or I'll figure out. Maybe he didn't understand what I meant, so I'll ask him no, they understood. Like, if the answer isn't satisfactory,
that's what I'm saying.
Is that, some people are not gonna stop.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think it's the desires of people's hearts are always gonna trump the logic.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. But I'm saying the logic is for you. I'm trying to get their logic so that they can see what I'm saying. Like, that makes absolute, because there's an absolute, there's a possibility that you can get that person to say that and they'll follow through. I don't know what it sounds like. So, but I'm saying, like, I feel like I can convince people to change their mind about a lot of things if I have enough information, especially if I feel like it's not the right thing for them.
Yeah, but I think that it also depends on their commitment to wanting that thing. Like, yeah, you could convince me that I should probably stop drinking dairy and find an alternative. That's not really, it's not something that I am dead set on. So I'm like, oh, I'll consider that. Okay, well, then I'll try that. No problem. And you can tell me exactly why. You can change those behaviors. But if there's something that I am dead set on and it's a part of my value system, what I feel is this is valuable to me and it's necessary for me, that is, I feel like the desires of the heart are, it doesn't matter what the logic is.
Well, so I can say that about my life.
Okay.
The way that my life was, I was dead set that I was living my life the way that I was supposed to live it. Something gave me and said, hey, it could be done differently. You can be happier or whatever it was, but it completely changed the way that I view things. So I felt like if there's something that can make me be more conscious of the decisions I'm making so that my path is a little brighter, I want it.
So let me ask you this. When you came to this realization, was it because you sat down with someone and they talked you through it and said, change your life? Or was it something that you came upon over time when you were like really observing your life and yourself?
I mean, yeah, I did it. Like, nobody could tell me. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but that's one of the things that I always talk about is, well, maybe not here, is there's a difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. So intrinsic is this is something you want. That motivation is so much stronger than extrinsic, because other people could convince you the environment could very well be what, pushing you in that direction. But if you don't want, if you're not within yourself, if the motivation doesn't come from you, then it's not going to be strong enough to change behaviors. Sometimes it can when the behaviors are not like embedded inside of your head of what I want, like changing from dairy to some other kind of milk. But if it's, I've done everything I was supposed to do. I went to college, I got the degrees, I got the job, I built my my career, I take care of my body, my finances are great. I'm happy and I'm healthy and I'm, enjoying myself. So why can't I find the person I want and have the kids and why can't I have that too? Because I've done everything I was supposed to do.
Because your age is caught up with you. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are certain things that, like, you could die. It's a higher chance for you to die. The baby may not make it. Like, you could become a totally different person. Like, to me.
So then you say, oh, I had a friend. She was 42 and she had a baby. And she was fine.
No, and I get that.
And that's what I'm saying. But they can pull from somewhere else.
Even when somebody says you had a healthy baby at 42, like, you're gonna be 60.
Yeah.
When this like, you're gonna hope you got a solid life, but like it's just selfish living. That's what humans are then. Like, because I'm trying to ask you, and to me, I feel like you're defending the heart's desire.
No, I'm just saying that it's very difficult.
No, I agree. Like, that's what I'm saying. So even if I'm asking you, and then I can see that you're defending the heart's desire, there's something that I can't even give to you because you feel like people are going to do what they're going to do.
Well, I feel like logic is great and sometimes it can win. But for the most part, if the desire is in direct, like completely in the opposite direction, that's a battle that I'm not going to bet on you winning. Logic, I'm not going to bet on logic winning. No. However, I do feel like there are a lot of behaviors that can be changed with logic. It's just certain ones that are deeply embedded in someone and their expectations of what they want their life to look like, that it's I don't think that logic will do it. I don't think it's about how you deliver it. I don't. I think that there has to be a little piece in that person that is open to that.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like, you've never been in a situation where somebody says something to you and then it was like, I didn't look at it that way. And it just kind of changed your perspective. Like, oh, maybe I've been looking at it from the wrong way. So I feel like regardless of what's in somebody planted a seed somewhere, because nobody wants to do bad. Nobody wants to be the person that say, I shouldn't have done that.
But what I'm saying to you is there has to be a part of them that's open to a change.
No, I feel like that's why I feel like everybody's open to it. It just takes the right things to nurture that follow through.
No, I think that a lot of it is that, like, there has to be a part of them that's open to a seed being planted. Like, I may not fully be committed. I may still be pushing toward having kids in my older years. And that's different than somebody who's saying, I'd like to, but I understand that it might not happen. But I'm going to try. That means that they understand there's a door that's open. Somebody who's like, no, I'm going to have me a kid.
No, so I'm not even worried about the kid thing. I was more so worried about the relationship. I was using that
as an example, but yeah.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, because I feel like women they can get artificially inseminated without being in a relationship now. Yeah. So to me, I feel like the relationship part is because the kid is going to grow up and go. You still don't want to be by yourself. So in my mind, the goal of life is to, like, have somebody you can grow old with. Like, I guess it's the cliche-ish, but at the end of the day, like if you don't, like, I've thought about myself growing old. Mm-hmm. And I thought about it growing old by myself. It looks boring. It looks like I'm going to run out of things to do. Mm-hmm. And as I get older, the idea of what men wanted, the way I grew up, they wanted the prettiest woman. Mm-hmm. They all young. Young pretty women don't know anything. Like, they're just, like, becoming women. You know what I'm saying? Like, as an older man, you just want her because she's pretty, but she don't know anything. And if you have intellectual conversations with a young 20-something, that means she's either brilliant. She can't be brilliant because she's talking to you. And then, like, you need to figure out where you are. Oh. I need people to realize this. Like, as we get older, like, think about who you were at 20 something and think about who you are now. Like you didn't know anything.
Well, I know that you're right. As we get into this age, it has to be more than looks. It has to be more than the physical attraction, because that stuff fades with time. But if it's a relationship with the expectation of longevity, it's definitely like you don't want it to be boring. It has to be based on y'all really having, as people, you having compatibility, like as people, removing all of the emotion and lust and whatever the case may be, because at some point in time that friendship or that connection is going to be like, when I was younger, you used to watch Sports Center all the time, and because you used to watch it all the time, I learned things because I was just there, but that wasn't an interest of mine. But as a young woman, I was listening in and, giving commentary and trying to learn so that I could connect with you. In my older years, like, it's not a one-sided interest type of thing that's going on. Like, I'm not going to push to try to, like, I'm not into something that you don't like. That's cool.
No,
there are other things that we like that are similar. Then we'll just focus on those.
No, well, I want to interject and give you a different perspective. That's incorrect. Like the stuff that you watch, I don't like. I made myself like it because I wanted to be around you. Oh. Like, and I found the reasons why you watch it. And then I was like, oh, I can learn from this. Like I'm doing this intentionally. Like before, I felt like you were doing it intentionally too. It's just that I'm doing it now. Like,
I feel like our motivations have switched directions. I was doing it as a younger, and now I'm like,
like the stuff that I watch, I know you're not interested in, but the stuff that you watch, I get to learn who you are. So like when I told you that I'm working on things, like that's part of it. Like I can see your interest, like doing landscaping with you. I'm looking up on videos. So you already know the type of person I was before. So you have to know, like, I am trying to figure out how other people can get to this place I'm in.
Okay. So really, when you ask, like I said, I really can't advise anybody. I think that
you can, because people may think like you or people may not. You're still giving a different perspective, because we can't assume that whatever you said, people's heard.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to think that, like, look, it's you have to know how valuable you are for, like, I watch a lot of stuff, or like the things that you, like, I would have never watched. And like our relationship has grown so much. And like, I don't, like, sometimes look, this is the honest to God truth, and then we're going to get out of here. But sometimes she watches things and I'm seeing it and I'm like, what is she doing? Like what? And I'm like, in my head, like, we do this together now. And then like, I remember I came in, I was just like, what's this? She was like, yeah, I didn't watch the other season because you weren't here. So I had to watch something. So in my head, I'm like, so you watch something else without me? Like, in my head. So.
Well, you weren't as invested in that.
Look, I'm not invested in any of them unless you're there. It's not ever I'm going to, honest to God, if something happens, you pass, I won't get to see the end of it. Because they're not my point. You are.
Right. I got you.
Yeah, like and that's one of the reasons why, like, I feel like we have some valuable information, because I don't know any married people that do what we do. And like, I enjoy it. Like, I look forward to so many different situations. And I'm like, this is just in a living room. It ain't even outside the house. We do different things, but I just wanted to get your perspective on trying to help some of these people who would like to get to where we are. And I'm not gloating or anything, but I'm happy to be here. And I don't see it doing anything but continuing to grow, because I'm committed. And I love you so much.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
Anybody you want to give a shout out before we get out of here?
Not today.
Well, just to let you guys know, the smog is departing our area. we were under a severe weather watch, and I wanted to give a shout out to everybody who has to work outside. And I know some people just got to do what they got to do, but just want you to know your family appreciates you, and hopefully you didn't get any hazardous pathogens that could affect your life. So shout out to you guys. Y'all make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA, get after that action, or that action will get after you. Be great on purpose. Boom.